लॉकडाऊनच्या काळात मुलांना छान छान काहीतरी ऐकता यावं यासाठी आम्ही गोष्टी आणि कवितांचा खजिना घेऊन आलो आहे. आम्ही म्हणजे तुम्हाला माहितीच, आम्ही दोघी मैत्रिणी मानसी महाजन आणि रुचादेव. I bring for you an Indonesian folk tale today. It is the perfect story to make a skit or a small puppet show. Presenting Pa Dungu, an Indonesian folk tale. Author unknown. Narration by Manasee Mahajan. Pa Dungu, an Indonesian folk tale. The whole village knew Pa Dungu as a hard-working and an honest man. But his name was Dungu, and Dungu means stupid. Unfortunately, Pa Dungu was indeed what his name implied. One day, Pa Dungu's wife told her husband that she wanted to sell their kerbau. A kerbau is a type of a buffalo. So Pa Dungu's wife told her husband that she wanted to sell their kerbau. Early tomorrow morning, you take the kerbau to the market, she ordered, and sell it for 250 rupaiyas, not a paisa less. Pa Dungu nodded. Ma Dungu was not a wife that one could disagree with. Pa and Ma Dungu were unaware that Pa Busuk, the village rascal, had been eavesdropping and had overheard this entire conversation about the kerbau. As soon as he knew about Ma Dungu's intention, an evil thought entered his mind. Without delay, he went in search of his cronies, his friends, Pa Kokel and Pa Kolek, to ask them for help in carrying out his evil plan. Ma Dungu woke her husband up at daybreak the next morning. Yawning and shaking the sleep from his tired body, Pa Dungu found himself outside his house with his kerbau. Shivering in the chill of the early morning, Pa Dungu grumbled, "What's the matter with her? Anyway, waking me to go to the market so early without a bite to eat? Not even a cup of coffee? Just wait. When the kerbau is sold, I'll eat and drink as much as I want." Mumbling away to himself, Pa Dungu started off for the market. He had not gone very far when he met Pa Busuk. "Good morning, Pa Dungu," said Pa Busuk. "Where are you going so early in the morning?" "To the market," replied Pa Dungu sourly, "to sell my kerbau." "Kerbau?" asked Pa Busuk, furrowing his brows. "Where's your kerbau?" "Here," replied Pa Dungu. He was beginning to feel angry. "You mean to say you can't even see an animal as big as this kerbau?" Pa Busuk scrutinized the kerbau. He looked very closely at the kerbau. He felt the fat grey beast from head to tail. He touched each leg. Pa Busuk roared with laughter. "Ho, ho, ho!" he shouted. "Of course your name is Dungu. That explains it. This goat, a kerbau. And how much do you expect to get for it?" "You don't really have to go to the market. Just sell it to me. I'll give you 50 rupaiyas for your goat." Pa Dungu refused to answer and went on grumbling. "Crazy, that Pa Busuk fellow, calling my kerbau a goat. He thinks I'm stupid enough to fall for his tricks." A little further along the road, Pa Dungu met Pa Kokel. Pa Kokel wished him a hearty good morning and asked, "Where are you going with that goat, Pa?" "This is no goat. This is a kerbau," replied Pa Dungu indignantly. "Kerbau?" exclaimed Pa Kokel, feigning surprise. Pa Kokel reached out and fed the animal, and at the same time imitated the sound of a goat. Meh, meh, meh. How much are you asking for it? Asked Pa Coquel. 250 rupayas, answered Pa Dungu. 250 for this goat? Exclaimed Pa Coquel. Why such a high price for a small goat like this? No one will buy this goat from you. Goat? The usually placid Pa Dungu could hardly suppress his anger now. How can you call an animal this size a goat? Why don't you use your eyes before you say such a thing? Well, call it whatever you want then, Pa Dungu, said Pa Coquel. You call it a kerbau, you call it a goat, you call it an elephant. The point is that this animal here will never get you more than 40 rupayas. You don't even have to bother going to the market for this. Just sell it to me for 50, said Pa Coquel. Pa Dungu refused to answer Pa Coquel. But now he was beginning to feel uneasy. He was even beginning to wonder what this animal was, a kerbau or a goat. Why had both men said that it was a goat? Pa Dungu clapped the animal on the back and looked at it very intently. It's a kerbau. Of course it's a kerbau. Those two fellows just want to deceive me. Pa Dungu walked on. But the question kept coming back to plague him. Kerbau? Goat? Goat? Kerbau? Kerbau? Goat? While he was walking along, puzzling over this predicament, he was startled by a voice. Good morning, Pa Dungu. You're out so early. Where are you going? Pa Dungu looked around. It was Pa Kolek. To the market, he said. Then Pa Kolek asked his question. How much do you want for this goat? Now Pa Dungu was really alarmed. He stared at Pa Kolek. Then he looked at his kerbau and he began to doubt. Ma Dungu said kerbau. The others say it's a goat, he said to himself. Then he answered that question. 250 rupayas. What? Cried Pa Kolek. Much too high. I'll take it for 50, all right? Now Pa Dungu was filled with confusion. Pa Kolek started walking away and said, What do you say, Pa Dungu? Will you let me have it for 50 or not? If not, I'll go to the market. I can get a goat cheaper there. It must be a goat, said Pa Dungu to himself. Ma Dungu was playing a joke on me. She called it a kerbau. Then, still unsure, he said, Here, take this goat. Just pay me for this goat. Pa Kolek took a purse from his pocket and carefully counted out 50 rupayas, which then he gave to Pa Dungu in return for the big kerbau. The two men parted in silence. Pa Dungu returned home. Ma Dungu, seeing him back so soon and without the buffalo, received him much more warmly than her usual style. Well, she said cheerfully, that was really fast. We are in luck this time. Right you are, Pa Dungu replied. I sold him even before I got to the market. Here's the money. Ma Dungu counted the notes. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50? She said surprised. Where's the rest? I said 250. That's right, Ma Dungu, 50. That's all I could get for him. Ma Dungu exploded. 50? She shouted. You sold our big kerbau for 50 rupayas only. It's not a kerbau. It's a goat, said Padungu resolutely defending himself. Madungu went to the door. With her left hand on her hip and an iron bar in her right hand, she shrieked at Padungu in a voice that was full of anger and contempt. Have you lost your senses? You mean at your age and with your grey hair, you can't even tell the difference between a goat and a kerbau? You go back to the market right now and find that man who sold our kerbau to, and you get me 200 rupayas from him. And if you come near this house without the money, I'll beat your head in with this iron bar. Off you go. She waved the iron bar close to his face. Go now, she shouted. Padungu fled. On the way to the market, he reproached himself 1,000 times for having allowed himself to be fooled by those three people. He wanted to take revenge on his deceivers. But how? Suddenly he had it. With a light heart and a brisk step, he hurried to the market. He stopped at two warungs, warungs means restaurants, and a cigar shop, giving each shopkeeper a sum of money and making the same request with them. In a short while, I'll be coming here again with some friends. Please serve them everything they order. Then, when you see me nod my head and shake this rattle, just say, the bill's been paid, sir. It was not long before Pa Dungu met Pa Kolek, Pa Busuk and Pa Kokel. They were in high spirits because of the profit of 200 rupayas after selling Pa Dungu's kerbau for 250. Pa Dungu greeted them as though nothing had happened and invited them along for something to eat in the nearby warung. My treat, he said. I am out to spend the money I just received from selling my goat. Without any suspicion, the three companions followed Padungu into the warung. They ordered and ate and drank their fill. Padungu called the warung keeper, that is the shopkeeper, and asked how much he owed him. 50 rupayas, said the warung keeper. Padungu nodded his head and shook a small rattle that he took out from his pocket. Ding, 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 ding. On hearing the noise of the rattle, the warung keeper said, the bill's already been paid, sir. Padungu left the warung, followed by the three swindlers. All of them were looking back over their shoulders in wonderment. Padungu led them on until he came to the cigar shop. He bought 4 packets of cigarettes and gave each man a packet. And then, just as before, he nodded his head and shook his rattle. And the shopkeeper said, the bill's been already paid, sir. And again, to the great surprise of Padungu's 3 unsuspecting companions, they went on. And again they stopped at a warung. Padungu ordered food and drink for them. And then again, after a nod of Padungu's head and a ting-ding-ding-ding-ding of the rattle, which the 3 were now beginning to believe had supernatural powers, had magic, the shopkeeper shook his head and said, the bill's been already paid, sir. Now Pa Busuk could contain his curiosity no longer. Pa Dungu, he asked, why don't you have to pay for what we buy? Well, Pa Dungu said slowly, that's a secret. Of course, if you don't tell anybody else, I'll let you in on it. The three swore secrecy. Listen, it's this way, said Pa Dungu very confidently. I inherited this magic rattle from my father. It's a pusaka. That's a magic rattle. It's a wonderful thing because you never have to pay for anything you buy. As soon as they hear the sound of this pusaka, people think that they have already been paid. Pa Busuk could not conceal his wonder, nor his desire to possess the magic rattle. I'll give you 200 rupees for the rattle, he said. No. I don't want to sell it, said Pa Dungu. In the first place, it's a heirloom. I got it from my father. And in the second place, if I sell it, think what a loss it would mean to me. Listen, Pa Dungu, Pa Busuk started persuading him. If you sell it to me, I'll always think of you. I'll send you something every single day. Well, if you would really do that. But if I do sell it to you, promise me you won't tell a soul, especially not my wife. And give me 250 rupees for this. Without another thought, Pa Busuk gave Pa Dungu the money that he and his friends had received for the sale of the kerbau. 250 rupees. Pa Kolek, Pa Kokel and Pa Busuk examined the rattle. It looked like an ordinary baby rattle, and there was not a thing about it that would indicate that it was magic. They decided to try it out. They entered a restaurant and ordered a complete meal with steaming white rice and the tastiest of dishes. 12 of them. They ate with great enjoyment and sat back in their chairs with satisfaction. May I have the bill, please? Asked Pa Busuk. 20 rupees, said the waiter. Pa Busuk nodded his head, just as he had seen Pa Dungu do, and then shook the magic rattle. Ding, 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 ding. The waiter just stood there. Pa Busuk and his companions stood up and walked to the door. The waiter called the owner. Just a moment, called the owner. Where's my money? Pa Busuk replied with a nod of his head and a shake of the rattle. Ding, 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 ding. Money, called the owner, becoming irritated now by his customer's strange behavior. You haven't paid your bill. Pa Busuk shook the rattle harder, ding, 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 to make sure that the man could hear. The harder he shook the rattle, the angrier the restaurant owner became. You fools, he said, running after his 3 customers. With an iron bar, he beat Pa Busuk as well as the other 2 swindlers. Fools, he shouted. Do you think you can pay for my food with a rattle? Now get out. He beat them black and blue. Pa Dungu came home happily to meet Ma Dungu with 250 rupees in his hand. Pa Dungu, an Indonesian folk tale. Author unknown. Narrated by Manasee Mahajan.